I have reported on this back in November of 2022, I believe, where I said that Meghan and Harry, they are so broke, or at least they're going so broke that they are now planning to sell their Montecito property. And that property at that time, it was to be sold at a lesser value than the one they paid for. I believe they paid around 11-12 million dollar, and they were asking as low as $9 million because nobody wants to buy the property. And it was a big mistake for Meghan and Harry to go into Montecito Palace. Now we have this new report. I'm going to be playing the video in a second that claims that Meghan and Harry, they want to sell the property not only because they're going broke, but also because they have debts. A lot of them. Let's take a look at this video.
Barely afford to buy the $15 million mansion they now own and live in Montecito, California. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped down as senior royals in 2020 and subsequently moved to the US, where for a good part of the COVID pandemic lived in a Santa Barbara mansion owned by friend Tyler Perry. However, when it came time to start looking for properties to buy for themselves, Meghan told The Cut last year that they realised they were unemployed and couldn't afford to buy the places that really caught their eye. Talking about the $14.6 million property in Montecito, Meghan said, "We were looking in this area and this house kept popping up online in searches. We didn't have jobs, so we're just not going to come and see this house." However, a source leaks that soon after Prince Harry and Meghan were able to close a deal on their dream home after King Charles loaned them money for 3 years. That means 2023 will expire and they have to pay back their debt. There was someone on the board who talked about how super injunctions require money to stay in force and that King Charles isn't willing to continue paying for them. So if there's a super injunction about Meghan's pregnancy with Archie or a moon bump, it will expire at some point after the coronation. Rumour has it they're selling the house by the end of the year. Why else would all of a sudden now would this make the rounds again? And where will they move? They've likely burned out of Montecito, perhaps Portugal or Spain, though I doubt Mark will could adjust to living in Europe, but it might remind her of her yachting days.
Two things I want to make mention of. Number one is that Meghan and Harry, I remember if you are following the story, Harry mentioned this over and over again, that he is now well off. They're financially independent, quote unquote, financially independent, whatever that means for them. Begging people for money, for donation, for actual, I don't know, whatever it means for them, financially independent. But this is what he claims. We do not need anybody's money. My father cut me off. This happened, that happened. But look, we are building our brand in Montecito and we don't need any help from our family members. In fact, they are the one asking for help. This is the impression we get from them, that Meghan and Harry, they're becoming very, very rich. Now that we are seeing they're struggling financially, now that we are seeing that these houses, they're looking for parties. I mean, I have reported, as I said before, and this is something, an ongoing news all the time. If you look it up on their website, if you look it up on Google, just type it, you will see there are multiple reports saying that Meghan and Harry, they are struggling with this palace mentioned in Montecito and that they want to sell it. So if you are financially independent and you are so proud about this and that you do not need any help, quote unquote, again, well, then why are you so desperate to sell the house, especially since you only bought it like a few months ago? Not too long. I mean, they bought this palace, I believe, 2002 middle or in the beginning. I don't remember the exact month. But the point is, it's not a place where they're living for years. But all of a sudden, you see them talking about selling the property. And number 2 point I want to make mention of, which is that Charles is getting very, very strict in terms of money. He is a stingy man, like, take my word, not in a negative way, not in a negative way, in a positive way. He's a very stingy person. This is why he's always talking about slimming down his monarchy. He is kicking out his brother and Prince Andrew from the Royal Lodge, and he's asking him to move into Frogmore Cottage. He's giving the Royal Lodge to William and Catherine, Prince and Princess of Wales. And then he also at the same time decided that Meghan and Harry, they're going to lose the Frogmore Cottage and that they will be living in a much smaller place and that he will not pay for Meghan's security. If you remember, Harry was livid when he learned that Meghan would not be on King Charles his payroll. He was livid. He was like, how could you do this? You cannot pay for my wife. Everybody's on a payroll. But of course, he had a reason, King Charles, because they stepped down from the royal duties. But Harry was freaking out. The point is that King Charles is very stingy in terms of giving money. Who is he is giving the money to, who he's not. He's very, very careful. Okay, that's my point with the money. So now that they're trying to sell the palace, the mansion in Montecito, it does make sense that they need to pay back the monarchy if they owe anything to them financially, and that they need to be happy with minimum. They cannot come out and brag the way they thought they would. You know, when you live in in California, and you compete with the A-listers, you want to have a place that you can be proud about. Meghan Harry, this is why they bought the Montecito Palace, and now they are saying this place is nothing but giving them more stress and suffering and making their life miserable. They bought this place when it was sold almost half the price. I believe it was a Russian tycoon, very rich man, and they were happy. They were excited. Yeah, we struck a good deal. But look what is happening now. They are miserable with this palace. So it all makes sense. It all adds up pretty well. There is a report from Hello Magazine. They're saying the exact same thing, that Meghan Harry, they are trying to sell the property. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle's Netflix mansion is up for sale for $33.5 million. The Duke of Joseph of Sussex filmed their Netflix documentary in the beautiful home. And this report is from 16th of March 2023, only a few days ago. Remember that minor Netflix documentary, The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, created that Netflix was filmed and built in 2006. The mega mansion boasts 6 bedrooms, 13,599 square feet, seascape and mountain views, numerous terraces. And so, everything that Meghan and Harry used, they are ruined. They are being destroyed. Their reputation has been destroyed. So nobody wants to move in there, just like their Montecito place. Nobody wants to go in there. And this is why they're finding it very hard to have a party who can buy the property from them. Nobody is coming forward. The main house includes a pool, a hot tub, a bar, a gym, a games room, and a cinema room, 2 acres of grounds and compasses. So this is the building where they filmed the Netflix documentary. The property is situated in the California hills. The Santa Barbara-based home is situated in a location renowned for its secluded hillside estates that promise the utmost privacy. And at the same time, as I mentioned, their Montecito place is also up for sale. So what is the bottom line? Well, look, Meghan Harry, regardless of how much money they're scamming from people in the name of donation and charity for their actual foundation, they are still broke. They cannot make enough money. It is not because they cannot manage their money, because they hired a money man. If you remember, I reported on this a few months ago. They hired a money man, and Ellen DeGeneres, she helped them finding that money man to manage their money. This is not about managing money. It is about making money that they're struggling with. And this struggle seems to be continuing on for Meghan Harry, and hopefully they will realize sooner than later that we are really not that A-lister Hollywood celebrity that we thought we were, and that we are really poor, as Tom Bauer he himself said, that Meghan Harry, these people are very, very poor. I have few comments here. Samantha, Marina, Lisa, Zareen. Thank you guys. Zareen, thank you so much for tuning in, for joining in. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next